Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to translate English text to French within Google Read and Write, and I'm also going to show you how to translate French text to English using tools within Read and Write. So to begin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type a sample sentence. So, I really enjoy it when it is snowing outside. So let's say, for example, you want to translate one of these words to French. The button right here within Read and Write is called the translator button or translator tool. So if you click on a word, or you highlight a word and then you click the translator, it's going to translate the word. So you'll probably notice that that word might not be French, and you can test that out with a different word. And you can probably look at that and say, I really don't think that's French. And that's because the default setting within Read and Write is to have words translated to Espanol. So please make sure that when you have students using this, that they have it changed to translation to, not English, to French. So this is going to translate the words in front of you to French. So I'm going to click OK. I'll close the toolbox. I'll turn the translator back on. I'll select a word. I'll try again. And that is definitely not working. Just make sure that that's French, my language. Oh, there's my problem. So by default, students' languages are set. The language is set to English and the features are set to English. So now what's going to happen is when I highlight this word, I click translate, it tells me the translation of enjoy, joyeux. And so what you can also do within Read and Write, I'm just going to unplug my headphones so you can hear the results. It will also play the words back to you. So you see the triangle on the side here. You can press play.
Jouir.
And we'll read the words back to you in French. So I have when, and even clicking on the words will translate it automatically.
Neiger. Quand. Lorsque. Ou. Comme.
So it gives you the different pronunciations and it reads those words back to you.
Extérieur. Au dehors.
And then if you want to use that, you can use that translation and be able to type it over here on the side and be able to use that cue right there, the translation box, to help you out on the translations of those words. So that's how you would be able to use Read and Write to translate from an English sentence or English text to French. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let's say you are looking at a French source. So I have just pulled up an article from La Presse, and it's talking about a big dump of snow that they received, or the first snow that they received this season in Montreal. So let's say you want your students to have this read to them, or students to read this. The first thing you can do is you can have this read to you. So the first thing I would do is I'd look for the Read and Write toolbar up here in the corner. I'm just going to plug back in my headphones so it's a little bit easier to hear me. All right, so the first thing I would do is I'd go to the Read and Write toolbar up here in the top right corner and click on that, which will open up the Read and Write tools. Now what you're going to want to do is when you go to this sentence, you can highlight that sentence and you press play.
Gasque, a répertorié des sorties de route, notamment en Estrie et en Montérégie.
So I'm sure you will agree that that definitely did not sound like a French voice and sounded like an English person reading French text. So what you have to do is you need to click on the settings cog. And instead of having your voice set as USA Ava, you need to set it at French Canadian MLE again. And you click OK. You highlight that text again. You can press play, or you can also use the hover text or the hover speech. And this will speak whatever you hover over. I'll click on this.
La Sûreté du Québec SQ a répertorié les sorties de route, notamment en Estrie et en Montérégie.
If your students are finding that quite fast for their level, you can click on the settings cog again and go to slow or very slow for reading. And then using the hover text, click on it again.
Transport Québec a fait état de chaussées enneigées dans les régions de l'Abitibi-Témiscamingue, de l'Outaouais, de Laurentier de la Naudière, de l'Estrie et de la Montérégie.
So that's how to have text read to you back in French. The next thing what we can do is we can also have certain words translated within the document. So what I can do is if I'm a student, there we go. If I wanted this word translated to English from French, I can click on the Translate tool. The problem right here is it's kind of taking a word and it's thinking it's English and translating it to French. And that's kind of funny that it's doing this. There we go. So you see how it's coming up with no match for this word or it's giving you the exact same word back in French. So obviously, well, that's actually working quite well. I didn't think it was going to work like that. So one thing to do, or to make sure you check in the settings, is the first thing is you want to make sure that your language is set to French. This is going to make the toolbar setting to be French. And the next thing you want to do is go to speech and get the translation to be set as English. Once you do this, what you should be able to do is as you click on different words, in here I'll just turn translation off. There we go. There we go. So again, it's predicting words in English to me. So highlight that word there. You can see it's predicting me words now in English. And again, you can press the play buttons and have them read back to you in English if you're not confident on your reading skills.
Snowy. Covered in snow. Very in snow.
And that's how to get those words that are in the text here read back to you. So that's the Translate tool. And overall, the one thing I would recommend as well showing to students is how to set their settings back to default. So once they're translating, reading the article, one thing to recommend to them is perhaps they want their default to be their translation to be to French, because they'll be typing in English, moving things to French. They're going to want their menu bar to be thinking that it's English. So I'm going to set the menu bar back to English. And then I'm going to also set the speech, the voice that's being read back to me, back to USA Ava. So now I have my menu set back to the default, and you can even adjust the speed back to medium. If you have students frequently reading in French, maybe they want to keep those settings as they are, but it's up to kind of you/the students of how they'd like it to be set up for their best usage. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you enjoy the ability to translate English to French and French to English using Read and Write.